In the final of our settings options, we're going to look at the user login. So this is where we allow access to the TimeHub employer portal for different employees with different rights. So there is two at the moment, but the new one will become the primary one shortly, so we'll address that one. So in here, we can set up a new user. We simply give them an email address. So it might be steve@timehub or whatever your email address is. Um, it needs to be in a valid email format, so a name, an at, and then a .co.nz or .com or whatever. You can set up a password for the employee, which is alphanumeric. You can then choose to make them a company admin. So if they are a company admin, then that means that they have full rights to all aspects of the system, and you can save that, and that person has a full access right in that particular scenario. The second option you've got is to set up a custom user. So if we put in the same again, and in this particular case, we can choose custom. And what happens with a custom is you then get to choose which of the menu options this user can access. So when they come in, you can choose what they can do. So can they process times? Can they process the pay period? So typically, unless you're an administrator, you might let someone do the process times. You might let them see some reports, maybe even the archive reports, and let's say all the reports in this particular case. You might let them see the roster calendar, but you don't let them look at or access or edit any other options. So the key one not to obviously give someone who doesn't have full rights access to is access to the user logins, because that way they can go and change their own settings. But typically, if unless it was an administrator, they would only have access to the key areas. So for example, if you had a line manager who needed to be able to get in and check the reports for their team, but you didn't want them posting the data to payroll, and you didn't even want them to actually access the information other than in report form, then you would not enable any of these options. You would save that, and then that would be the user's access control when they came in to the TimeHub portal. So it's important that you are careful with what you turn on and turn off, and you must have at least one administrator in the system. What you also see in the screen is the last time that person was active in the system, which can be useful if someone is supposed to be going in and doing maintenance and they're not ever going in. You can see when they last accessed the system.